So
Right.
you said you got a book of this book of the points, this new book of points.
So, this is actually the list of 6,000 points that TFL has put on their website.
So you can download
and any knowledge student can go and download them for nothing.
Yep.
Okay. So they're gonna learn everything in here. Yeah. But the what I said earlier is these can be asked in any combination.
Yeah.
So you still can't. It's still not easy as you think it is.
Yeah.
Because, as I said earlier, if they ask over 2,000 points in a year, we're lucky. You know what I mean? So you can go right through it. So, you got like the Farsi Mosque, London, the Ship, Public House. So it goes through the postal codes, yeah?
Yeah.
So you've even got Southwest 19 now, where you're going back into Wimbledon. Yeah? There was a list to go with what they call curiosity points as well. So things like Nelson's Fleet is going to be asked again. Wimbledon Tennis is being asked again. Crystal Palace Football Club is going to be asked.
That's because of Ted Lasso.
So I really don't know who Ted Lasso is. But all of those things will be asked, and they'll ask those most probably on stage 5, which is 21 days.
Yeah.
Yeah? So it's not as easy as people think it is. Because I've seen students in here who have asked them points out of this and they don't even know them. Yeah.
So, a lot of people say, is the knowledge of London still valid because of the advent of GPS and sat-nav and things like that? Now, we've had numerous competitions between cab drivers and GPSs, and the cab drivers always come out in front, a long way in front. So, and you stick good. Explain why you personally feel it's still valid.
When I was an examiner as well, they carried out this test.
Yeah.
Between the sat-nav and just doing the knowledge. I drove one cab where I used the knowledge. Another driver drove a cab doing it by the sat-nav. And I'm trying to remember where we had to go. It was from Penton Street, and I think we went somewhere towards Harlesden or something, exactly if I remember. But I remember automatically I did a U-turn to go out to the Pentonville Road that way. Now the driver followed the sat-nav, which sent him around the block. You see, a lot of people will ask that question, why do you need the knowledge now and we have sat-navs? Well, there's a simple reason. The black cab is part of the transport system of London. Okay. So you have streets that we can go that a car can't go.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting in Vere Street off of Oxford Street and you came to my cab and you said, Clerkenwell Road, please, I can do a left turn into Oxford Street. A car can't. So the sat-nav will send me straight over into New Bond Street, okay, and work it from there.
Yeah.
Right. And you will notice this even when we do, if we use the apps, like Get, for instance. So even though it's an app for black cabs, even that sat-nav can't recognize a black cab. So when the office tells the passenger 15 minutes or whatever, we get there in 10. Because we can use bus lanes, we can do U-turns, everything. The Royal Parks. Our sat-navs will not show you to go through the Royal Parks because no business vehicles are allowed in the Royal Park. Black cabs are. And you'll also notice if you do use a sat-nav with the black cab, when you make certain turns, the sat-nav adjusts itself afterwards.
Yeah.
Not before. Yeah?
My granddaughter's giving me a cold.
Oh dear, never mind. Never mind.
Right, go on, carry on.
Yeah? So, as I said, the sat-nav adjusts after you've done it.
Yeah.
Not before. Yeah? And that's all over London. You see what I'm saying to you? And as a matter of fact, if you go into certain areas like Reading and places like this, you have the same thing. Bus lanes, roads you can turn where it says Hackney Carriages.
Yeah.
Yes? So Brighton is the same thing. Yeah? So when people think, yeah, you got a sat nav, well, in the black cab, not for us. Maybe out of London, yeah.
So there's all this talk at the moment and this report that's been done about the decline of the black cab in London, and that we're going to be extinct in 20 years' time. I'm going to ask you two questions based on that. Number one, do you think we're going to be extinct?
No, I do not.
In 20 years' time. And number two, do you think for a young person that the knowledge is still worth considering doing?
Of course.
Why do you think it's still worth considering doing?
Well, how much money do you think you can earn in 20 years?
Quite a lot.
Okay, there you go.
and one of the things.
Hold on, look, a classic example. You just spoke to Lee a minute ago. Lee's 33 years old.
Yep.
20 years time, she'll be 50 what? 5?
Yep.
56? Right. Does she really want to be working at that time?
Probably.
But she would have done a good bit by then.
Yeah, you're still working, I'm still working.
I know, but that's because of how we are, isn't it? I mean, look, I'm the kind of man that believe in one thing: cross a bridge when you come to it.
Yeah.
Yeah? And all this talk about extinct in 20 years, and look, the think tank or whoever it is, TFL has got to do this. Who on that think tank has ever done the knowledge?
None of them.
Then what gives them the right
exactly
to speak about what we do?
Yeah. So, and one of the things you're doing to address the problem is this school, obviously.
Exactly.
And you give your time free of charge for this, don't you?
Not
you
only me, Tom Scullion does also, Lisa, Tommy, Sandro, yes, Reese.
And why do you do that? Because you believe in this trade, and
of course, because
you're passionate about it.
And not only that, I look at it this way. Again, I use Lee as an example again. At her age, I wasn't thinking about nothing like this. Yeah? I had other things. So I get a lot of young people coming here in their 20s. In my 20s, I was running around with reggae sound systems. I didn't even know what the knowledge was.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is, those things were not in my mind. You know, there's videos with me on YouTube at 24 years old, messing about in the back of Wandsworth with our sound, doing what we were doing. So when I get young people come to me now, at that age, to me that is progress. Yeah? So the way I look at it, if I am giving you my services for nothing, you have no excuse why you shouldn't be here. You see what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Yeah? And also, again, not because she is here, I use her as an example, Lee, for a young lady who looks after her children. She homeschools one of them. Yeah, and still get on with the knowledge, look after her grandmother, the whole lot. And she still find time to do the knowledge and finish it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah? And finish it.
Yeah.
Yes? So, you know, it shows you, yeah, that if you put the work in, you can do it. You know what I mean?
And you can earn, I mean, you're never going to be rich being a cab driver, are you?
Well, people might not agree with me saying this, but I want to say it anyway.
Go on.
It's like selling drugs, but it's legal. That's the best way I can describe it. Not that I'm
condoning selling
drugs, but that is the best example I can give. And why not? Don't they show movies on the telly with people snorting and all that business? I'm sure a young lady over there has watched them kind of movies before her age. It's the reality we're dealing with here. You know, and you ask anyone, and Sandro has just walked in, ask him how he's earning.
So if anyone was considering, a young person's considering doing the knowledge, or anybody considering doing the knowledge now, what would you say to them?
I would say to them, from your fit, you haven't really got anything criminal affecting you. Yes, I would say apply for the knowledge, and the best thing I can ask them is, what will they be doing in 3 years' time? If you can tell me what you'll be doing in 3 years' time exactly, good luck to you. You don't even know if you'll be alive tomorrow.
No.
So what's stopping someone from studying something that can enhance your life, not make it worse?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of knowledge, a lot of college students, they spend 3-4 years in university. When they come out,
it's not what they want to do.
It's not what they want to do. Maybe they can't find a job. They're in debt. You do the knowledge. You may spend 3 years doing it, maybe a bit over. But once you're finished and you get one of these, you go straight to work that same day if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, the choice is yours. So you work when you want, you stop when you want. Yeah? Again, like with women, young children, they don't need no babysitters, nothing. They work now at their own.
So this is Tom Scullion, and you're involved with the... This is Tom, and you're involved with the Taxi Academy as well, Tom. What was your impetus to get involved with this?
I'll be honest with you, I'm really worried that we're losing 20-25 cab drivers a week. And when you look at the numbers, it's actually depressing. And we're not getting enough students on the knowledge. And I thought, instead of moaning about it, why don't we do something? So I approached Courtney, said, look, we need to do something. And Courtney said, look, if you put it together, I'll do it. So what started off as a bit of an idea was put into practice, and now we've got about 130 students. We've got people passing out every week. We've got a fantastic school in Get's offices in City Road where we are. And it's been a really, really enjoyable experience.
And you give your time free of charge for all this as well, don't you?
Yeah, everybody, this is about giving something back to the trade. And I just want more people to do so. So there's no personal gratification there. And then we create, not like the community, like when you and I were a cab driver, where you would pull over or get out of the cab and have a chat. And this is what we're creating here. It's like a family, and everyone works off each other. And it's bringing back the true core values of being a cab driver.
So you also do lessons at the school, don't you? You take lessons at the school.
So I'll take lessons. Obviously, I'm not going to be as good as someone who's recently passed out doing back doubles in Peckham, far from it. But I've probably done 1 million journeys over the last 33 years. So I've got a reasonably good idea where I'm going. But also, when I first got out, I decided to do, you've done the same thing I did, through the company, the taxi guide course, which I thought was fabulous. And then I went on to become a City of London guide. So some of the techniques that I employ when I'm teaching the students is to really give them some different skills in terms of taking photographs of places with your mind and attaching some historical importance. And the students seem to love it.
So where do you see this going? Where would you like this school, the Taxi Academy, to be in, say, a year or 2 years' time?
Well, we're a victim of our own success here. Now, we started off doing a couple of days a week. Now we're here 4 days a week. We do days, we do nights, we do evenings. But the thing is, we're so successful now, we're going to need a bigger boat. And it's a nice problem to have.
Yeah.
But all this would cost money. Now, the ideal dream would be to have a knowledge academy in every borough in London. I know it's probably fanciful, but you've got to have some ambition. And we've got enough people now trained up, because even our students who pass out, they say, right, I now want to contribute back into the taxi industry, which is amazing. And with the correct support in the background to do the commercial stuff, there's nothing to stop us opening up different academies all around the place.
Yeah. That's a really good thing to do. I mean, I'll take my hat off to all of you that are doing this, because you're giving your time free of charge to help others, basically.
Look, you and I have done the Disney trip so many times I can't remember. You do have to put something back into this trade. It's what it's about. Just driving around in a cab as solitary as an oyster. It's not good. And if you're involved in the trade, the amount of time that you've put in over the years, and the stuff that you've done to promote our trade is incredible. But there's not enough of the Jamies in the world, and we need more. And so this is a sort of an open plea to the rest of the trade. Now you want to get on board, whether you're going to work with us, work with yourself, do something positive for the trade, because the trade needs it now. Because if we don't do it, I'm a very positive person, and I can see this only going in one direction. Now TfL, I'll give full credit to their knowledge department. I think Katie, Connell's and all of the teams and examiners are amazing. They come to job fairs with us and stuff like that. They come down here. They don't all the schools, it's not favouritism. And they genuinely believe and need the trade to grow. TfL, I think they just put too many limitations on the taxi trade, and we're not getting enough back. Yeah. And I think that we need a voice, because we need access to all the streets. Now, if you look at the low traffic neighbourhoods, for example, now if you look at the original agreement in there, it said that there is provision for essential transport. Well, my transport is essential to many, many people, and especially those, the infirm and disabled. Yeah. So, we need some more wins back from TfL, because we're not getting enough. We had the Mayor's Taxi Action Plan. Well, he hasn't given us anything.
The inaction plan.
Inaction plan. Now, that's wrong. And we've all been sitting there thinking, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, and it causes resentment. And we need things. If I've got a fully accessible vehicle, why do I have to pay VAT on it? Whereas if I convert my own car for my wife who's got a disabled arm or whatever, then that's tax-free under the mobility scheme. Yeah. Now, why aren't the taxis doing that? Again, LEVC, fantastic cab. They're losing a great deal of money every year. They're not going to be about forever. We need competition. We was promised 4 or 5. Now, TfL could change the condition of fitness tomorrow. With a flick of a switch, it doesn't need primary legislation or agreement. We've got taxi drivers out there leaving now because of the emissions criteria. And really, and so what we're trying to do is to encourage people to come into our industry. But when you look at some of the negatives, it's a difficult sale. It really is. Yeah. So what we'd really like to have more engagement with TfL. We need access to silly places like Pentonville Road down to King's Cross. They've told us we've got it. It hasn't come about, and we need people to understand that if you get in a taxi, it's a lot more valuable than you can even put a price on, because we're going to get you the shortest possible route, the safest and the fastest possible time. There should be a reason to jump in a taxi over anyone else, as there always would be. Yeah. Now, what we want, we want cab drivers to come in, enjoy the job. I still love the job, and I've been doing it for so many years. And it's at one stage I jumped out of the cab for 15 years and was doing commercial stuff, and it still gives me the opportunity to do the stuff that I want to do and work around my family and have as many holidays as I like. It gives you that freedom. That element of being a cab driver is priceless, and this is what we're trying to communicate. And all we're asking from government and everyone else is you have to get some support here. Yeah. Now, we're not asking for a freebie. If you look at the way student loans work, if you're going to be training to be an accountant, you're probably going to get £40,000 worth of loans. Do you realise less than 27% of them loans are ever repaid because they can't find a job at the end of the course?
If they do, they don't find a job that pays enough to pay the loans off.
Well, there you go. Now, what we're thinking is, we're working with anyone who works with us. Now, at the moment, we're working with Steve Kenton, the LTDA, Ascot's. There's a lot of the trade now finally realised, hold on, this is getting desperate. And so we're trying to sort of get our heads around how best to communicate this and say to the government, look, it costs on average to do the knowledge over a 2-year course with the motorcycle and the subscription to school and the materials you require and some sustenance, about £20,000. Now, if the government were to give us funding of £20,000, we can guarantee that money will be repaid, because the day you get your badge, you go straight to work. I mean, literally. And we'll all, we speak with people like, Paul Byron and so forth, who's fantastic, by the way, and really looks after his drivers, Sherbets, people like that. And, we'll get them straight in the cab next day. Now, these people will be quite happy to pay their £20,000 loan off and pay interest on it. But not all of our students are unemployed. Most of them are bus drivers, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But one of the beautiful things about this academy is the camaraderie and the crack. I mean, it's fierce. Like Courtney, his bite's worse than his bike.
Always has been.
Well, he's like. But, you can see that once they sit back and go, Christ, he's talking sense here. Now, if he can't teach the knowledge, nobody can.
So this is probably a stupid question. Do you still enjoy being a cab driver?
Yes, I do. That's why I get up most mornings at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock to hit the road streets of London. I enjoy it every day. You know what I mean? I don't know, if I stopped it now, what am I going to do? At 65 years old, what am I going to do? Who's going to employ me?
You're getting old, mate.
All right, not too much of the old, please.
Well, Courtney, that's been great, mate.
Yeah, the one thing I wanted to show you.
Go on.
So here at the Taxi Academy,
Yep.
this same points list, okay, is full of points.
Yep.
Now, a lot of people will most probably just get these and they'll go and they'll, yes, Abney Park Cemetery, yes, Albion Road, yes, Amherst Park, yes, yes, things like that, yeah? But what are you doing with them? You see what I'm saying to you? You're just looking at clumps of points. That don't do you anything. So the whole idea here is at the Taxi Academy. Now these are the points.
And you've formulated them into runs.
So you formulated into a thing. But I've shown you Northwest. It says there, Northwest London 1. That is not the postcode.
Yeah.
That is only the first time they're going there. And if you notice, it's Northwest 10, Northwest 2, yeah, Northwest 6, from it's in the Northwest. And they're set out in such a way that what you do is you plot a route from your home to the first point.
Yep.
In the most direct, using the knowledge of your blue book.
Yep.
Okay? You've now created a run that's not in the blue book. So you've now created your own missing piece. Right. You can write it out, whatever, and call it like a blue book run. The whole idea, once you're now going to Dollis Hill Station, you are also pointing along the way as you go. So there's 16 points on this sheet, but by the time you finish, you should have at least 40 or 50.
Yeah.
So you're going to pick up points that are not here. Yeah? Now the only one they're meant to plot at home is the first one. All the others, you plot them on the street as you go. So that's equivalent to you and I out there driving. I've just dropped Tom off. Let's say Whitehall, for instance, dropped him off by the banqueting suite. Along comes Sandra or Lee, same time, Brownsbury Park. So my brain has to switch in an instant.
So you're basically conditioning them to be cab drivers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, not only me, but all of us that are here.
One last question I want to ask you. I mean, that's a really, really good way of doing things.
So I've done it with all the postcodes. So as I was saying, it starts at North London, then it's Northwest London, then it's West London, then Southwest London, then you go back to the WC, then the EC, then the Southeast, then the East. Once you've done that, it's back to North London again, and it becomes number 2.
Yeah.
And so on. The likelihood is you will not get through all of them before you finish the knowledge.
So one last question. One thing that I sort of... Do you, when you're doing a class of knowledge students, do you still sort of have a group of knowledge students and give one of them a run to call?
Oh yeah, they have to call in here in front of everybody.
Right, so why do you do that?
Because, right, the carriage office is a daunting place.
Yep.
Okay? In here, it gives you the confidence to be able to sit in front of them without...
So basically, you're putting them on the spot.
Yeah, you put
and
them
you're,
on the
you're putting them under pressure.
Usually there's a chair in the middle of the floor there.
Yeah.
They got to sit on, and you got to call in front of everybody.
So you're basically
in the room.
trying to replicate the situation they
Yes,
when they go in
yes,
front of the examiner,
yes.
except they're doing it in front of a load of people,
Yes.
which is putting them under even more pressure.
That's right.
But it's conditioning them to go up there and sit there in front of an examiner and have an appearance.
Exactly. And the reality is they all know. I have no, what's the word? I have no kudos to give them until they finish the knowledge.
Yeah.
It's only now I've told Lee, well done.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you while you're on the knowledge. I now have one student here that claims I'm bullying him. Yeah, well I says, well, if you don't like being bullied, man, go someplace else. But that's going to happen. Yeah? So, because the reason is this, we're giving our time
Free of charge.
free of charge. So either you come and be serious about it, but don't come and waste our time.
Yeah.
Yeah? And that's with anybody.
So if someone wants to, if someone's on the knowledge and they want to come to your school, how do they find you?
Well, our website, number one, Taxi Academy.
Yep.
Yeah, just put
Is
that
it
in Google.
.com or .co.uk?
No, just put Taxi Academy in Google and it will come up. And you can go through the website that way. Yeah? Once you sign up through the website, if I'm correct, your number is added straight to the knowledge group we have, the Taxi Academy group. So now you're in the group. Yeah? So, and that's what, even funny enough, we've had a lot of people sign up like that through these job fairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've signed up through the website.
That's what you've been doing with Andy Scott.
Yeah, with Andy Scott, one of our lovely guys here. How long did he had his badge? Francis. He's had his badge a couple of months? November, all right. He's already in Ghana sunning himself. Oh yes, and Sandro's off to Japan. He's been studying Japanese. So this is what the knowledge does, okay? He's been through the knowledge. He's now studying Japanese. And he does a class here as well. And he's only 33 years old. Yeah? So that's what the knowledge does for people. It allows your brain to, and not too long ago, Tom was doing the drive-in with the German TV.
It gives you the time, to be in a cab driver gives you the freedom to do other things and take a break, doesn't it? And go to Japan or go
Oh,
to...
yes.
You know?
I haven't been nowhere yet.
No, nor have I. We're doing something wrong.
We're doing something wrong, eh?
Anyway, listen, this has been great. So if anyone wants to come to the school here, just look up Taxi
free,
Academy.
yes, and they're free to do so.
It's free of charge.
They come in, and I must say this last bit. You know, we got to thank Get for this. Yes? Get has put no conditions on us in here. Anything. Yeah? But they recognize that without a trade, there is no Get.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying to you? All we ask is if that people come here, they will be respectful of the rules that Get has and what happens here.
Yeah.
Yes? That's all, but you're free to come. And the only thing we do not have here free now is our blue books.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is the young man that done them, Tommy, who helps to teach here, his wife done most of it. She's not a cab driver, but she gave up her time to do those books. She went out, she spent money. It
costs money.
Everything. Yeah. So it's only right that those, and as a matter of fact, both him and Sandro did those books. So any money that they're making from it, fine. Me and Thomas asked for nothing. Yeah? She spent her money and they put their time in it, so it's only right they get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah? And that's it. But anybody who wants to come here, any knowledge student, they are free to do so. And I will also add, if they're looking for a PC school, this is not it.